There are moments that shouldn't hurt as much as they do. Nothing dramatic happened, nobody left, nobody said goodbye, and yet something in you changed. Maybe it was the way they looked at someone else. Maybe it was how easily their attention moved away from you. Maybe it was just a silence where there used to be warmth. And in that instant, your mind doesn't say they're distracted. It says something is changing. Then, I'm losing my place. To someone else, it might look like nothing, but inside you, it feels like the beginning of being left behind. Not abandoned yet, just replaced. And if you've ever felt this, you know how strange it is. How can something so small feel so threatening? Why does your brain react to being replaced like it's trying to survive something? Because this fear is rarely about one moment. It's about what that moment means inside you. The fear of being replaced is not really about losing attention. It's about losing your place in someone's emotional world. And for the brain, that can feel far more serious than it sounds. Because being replaced doesn't just mean someone else is there. It means maybe I am no longer needed there. Maybe my place can disappear. Attachment is not just closeness, it's a deep emotional bond. A bond that tells your nervous system, I am safe here. So when that bond feels unstable, the fear is never just emotional, it becomes biological. And when someone new appears, your mind may not see a person, it may see a threat to that safety. That is why the fear of being replaced often feels bigger than jealousy, because beneath it, there is a deeper question. If I can be replaced, then what was I really? This is not just insecurity, it is the fear of losing belonging. And when belonging feels fragile, your brain starts watching for danger everywhere. And if your brain has learned that connection is unstable, it won't wait to lose it. It will start scanning for signs long before anything is certain. Deep inside your brain, this fear is not processed like drama. It is processed like danger. For a brain sensitive to rejection, relationships can become a field of signals. Who is moving closer? Who is pulling away? Who is choosing someone else? And at the center of that system is your amygdala, the part of the brain built to detect threat. It does not wait for proof. It reacts to possibility. A delayed message, a colder voice, a subtle shift in attention. To a calm brain, these are just moments. To a threatened brain, they can become warnings. This is how hypervigilance begins. Your brain starts zooming in on micro-expressions, changes in energy, tiny differences in affection, details most people would never even register. And when your place feels threatened, the pain is not imaginary. Social rejection can activate some of the same pain-related systems involved in physical hurt. That is why being replaced can feel so disproportionate and so real. So the fear is not really saying, I need more attention. It's saying something important might be slipping away, and I need to see it before it happens. Your brain is not trying to be dramatic. It's trying to protect attachment. But your brain was not born fearing replacement. It learned what connection feels like somewhere earlier. Fears like this rarely begin in the moment. They begin much earlier, in the places where your brain first learned what connection feels like. As a child, you don't just learn words, routines, or faces. You learn whether closeness feels stable, whether love stays or disappears. If care was consistent, your nervous system learned something powerful. Connection is safe. People can leave and come back. I do not disappear when attention shifts. But if love felt unpredictable, your brain learned a different rule. It learned that closeness could vanish without warning, that affection could become distance, that your place in someone's world might never be fully secure. And even if you don't consciously remember those moments, your body does. Your attachment system does. Your brain stores them as expectations. So when someone feels distant today, your reaction may not belong only to the present. It may be the old archive opening itself again. And in the modern world, there are more signals than ever to wake that fear up. Your brain was not built for social media. It was built for small groups, direct signals, and real human presence. But now it has to decode thousands of tiny social cues every day. Someone else's beauty, someone else's confidence, someone else's connection with the person you care about. Modern life makes replacement visible all the time, even when it's not really happening. A delayed reply used to be just a delay. Now it becomes a full psychological event. They saw it. They're online. Why did they answer someone else? And if your sense of worth depends too much on being chosen, then every shift in attention starts to feel like a verdict. Not just about the relationship, but about you. If this fear feels familiar, one book I strongly recommend is Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. It explains how insecure attachment can turn ordinary relationship moments into intense internal alarms. If you've ever felt too much from too little, that book may explain why. So the fear gets louder, not because you're weak, but because modern life gives an already sensitive brain endless opportunities to doubt its place. But understanding the pattern changes something, because once you see the system, you can stop obeying every alarm it creates. The first step is not to force the fear away. It is to recognize it for what it is, an alarm, not always a fact. Ask yourself, is this person actually leaving me, or is this feeling waking up an older wound? That question alone can interrupt the whole system. The more your worth depends on being chosen, the more every shift in attention will feel like a collapse. So part of healing is building a self that still exists even when no one is looking. Healing also means choosing relationships that do not constantly reactivate the fear. Clarity helps, consistency helps, emotional safety helps. You cannot heal abandonment wounds inside permanent uncertainty. And if this pattern runs deep, therapy can help you do what fear alone never could: update the system. Another book worth reading is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. It helps explain how old emotional experiences keep living inside the body long after the moment is over. The fear may still appear, but not every distance means loss. Not every shift means replacement, and not every alarm deserves your life. You were never weak for fearing replacement. You were trying to protect a place that once felt too easy to lose. Now, maybe, you can learn that you do not disappear just because someone looks away.